Hello everybody, it's ShadowSlayerX, and we're back to the Blackrock Mountain cards. Alright, so we're going to hit up the rares, which there are less of than the commons, and, excuse me, we're going to start with the Druid 9 mana, 7/8 with Taunt, Volcanic Lumberer. So this also shares the cost 1 less for each minion that died this turn. This one I'm not a big fan of because I feel like they're trying to force a earth elemental and on the druid. And by that I mean they're expecting this to cost around 5 mana and you have to kind of lose something. Instead of overload, you're losing minions. So and it's such weird stats because they already have an 8 mana 8/8 taunt. I mean, you're giving them more big creatures, I guess. This might, actually, now that I think of it, this might work. No, it actually won't. I was just going to say, oh, this card's great for, I think, the first boss of Blackrock. But you won't have this card in the first boss of Blackrock. At least, I don't think so. Unless they're letting you do the class things first, and you get Druid first, but I don't see it happening. This might be your best pick in Arena out of 3, although I might choose some better. Yeah, I don't know. As for Constructed, I don't see it being played unless they find some way to get a hand lock or a hand druid kind of thing going on, where you just have a lot of big creatures and you can get them out easy. This I should actually preface this with there is a legendary that can make all these cards work, and we'll get to that card later. I guess I should have mentioned that in the comments too, but if you don't have that legendary, then this is just as it is. So let's move on. Dark Iron Skulker. So we have another 5 mana card for a class, as you can see that we also have down here. I think this guy's awesome. So 5 mana, 4/3 Dark Iron Skulker. Battlecry, deal 2 damage to all undamaged enemy minions. So it backstabs all your opponents. This is awesome against rushy kind of decks, like zoo decks, so Hunter and Warlock kind of. Although it kind of sucks if they are damaged. So for instance, say you're up against a warrior who's got 5 or so minions, all with 2 health, but they've whirlwinded to maybe get off Acolyte of Pain or Armor Smith or something like that, or some of the new cards, Axe Flinger. Stuff like that. So this is useless against those. But then again, 2 damage isn't that much. I mean, like, say you draw this late game and they've got a Stormwind Champion on the field. It might help kill the Stormwind Champion if you got a Dark Iron Skulker and then you eviscerate or something. But then again, you've only done 1 damage to all the rest of them because they got buffed, unless they only had 1 health to start with. You know what I'm getting at. So I think, yeah, this card will be great in Arena, and it might find a place in Constructed, but I just don't see where that place is right now. Obviously, you compare it to the stats of Stormpike Commando, which is a 4/2 for 5. Same thing with the, was it the Dragon Consort? No, not that one. The one that was like Fire Elemental. I still haven't learned all the new names. Which is a 5 mana 5/4. That can deal 3 damage in its Battlecry, which is kind of crazy, but you need a dragon. This one you don't need a dragon. You just gotta cross your fingers that they have 2 health and they're undamaged. So let's move on to this guy. This guy was shown a lot in the Blizzard video. So this is another class dragon. So the other one was Priest. 5 mana, 5/5. Not too shabby. Battlecry. The next dragon you play costs 2 less. The next dragon. So it's not next turn or this turn. So you can play this on turn 5 or turn 6, and your next dragon, be it 8 mana or 9 mana or even 10 mana, will cost 2 less. It doesn't have to be the next turn. It could be at the end of the game. If you had 1 dragon consort and 1 other dragon in the, like Deathwing, you can play a 2 mana card, maybe a spell of some sort, and then play Deathwing for 8 mana. I think that's kind of crazy. Or some of the new Dragon Legendaries. I think this card's obviously fits in Constructed in a Dragon deck. 100%. In Arena, it might be your best choice. Once again, you do need another dragon for this to work. But then again, same thing with the Twilight Whelp or whatever the priest dragon is. That you might pick this card because it's a dragon, and then it'll buff the other things that need dragons. So even the ones that aren't dragons. I just think it's all around good card. And let's move on to the Grim Patron. So we saw this card in the Blizzard developer video, and if you haven't seen that, what happened was they got out a Warsong Commander, which is the perfect card to go along with this card, and I can't remember if they used Whirlwind or they used something to deal damage, but they basically summoned like 2 more Grim Patrons, and then sent like most of them in, and then summoned more Grim Patrons, which got charged, and it kept sending them in, and kept overwhelmed, and actually defeated the card balancers or whatever they were. And it's just so neat. Like, this works with Commanding Shout, Bounce, and Blade as well. If you want to have a full thing of Grim Patrons, it's just neat. Although it does have a high cost. It's 5 mana. So when you play it, you better be able to get those combos off, or you've really wasted your turn, because this can get killed. It can get one-shotted by so many spells, so many effects. I think it'll be pretty good in maybe Druid Arena if you can innervate it out, because then it could really spiral out of control. It'll have its place. Definitely works with the charge effect in Druid or Warrior, but yeah, let's move on. Core Ager. Now, I did mention if your hand is empty effect. So this is a 4 mana 4/4, which can become a 7/7 if your hand is empty. Once again, I feel like it doesn't synergize with the other card, because if you have them both in your hand, you have to choose. Do I want the 7/7 or do I want to draw another card? It's not bad. 4 mana 4/4. I mean, you can buff it with Houndmaster, Bestial Wrath, like all that kind of stuff. It is a beast. Oh, I just thought of it. This can come out of Web Spinner. There is a beast so far. So yeah, this can come out of Web Spinner. It can come out of Piloted Sky Golem if you want to return it back to your hand for whatever class you are. Yeah, so I think it'll see play in Arena. Is it a top pick? I don't think so. As for Constructed, it might have a place, because usually you don't have your big game hunters to fight other hunters, because they don't put out big things that have 7 attack. Although a lot of the decks are set up to take out Dr. Boom, so I don't think it'll see play, but you never know. Alright, let's move on to Demon Wrath. So, Demon Wrath, I think is a pretty awesome card, but obviously in demon decks, because it deals 2 damage to all minions except for demons. So it's good to point out that this doesn't target the heroes' faces like Hellfire. Hellfire will just deal 3 damage to everything. This deals 2 damage to everything except demons. I think that's cool. Definitely we'll see play in Constructed. As to how many you play, I don't know. Because it is kind of like Consecrate for 1 less mana, but it doesn't hit face. But you never know. There are some demons that your opponent has access to, like the Imp Master Imps, is Illidan a demon? I think, yeah, Illidan. Like there's some demons out there that your opponent has access to, but I don't think you have to worry about it too much. I mean, Priest can steal some of your guys, but I think it's a good card. I think it's really good. You'll see play in both. Flame Waker, not Flame Walker, as many people have made the mistake. After you cast a spell, deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies. Now, from the animation that we saw in the developer video, I think it deals the 2 damage randomly at the same time. At least that's how the animation looks, so it's not like Goblin Blast Mage where it's like 1, 2. I don't quote me on it, I'm not sure yet, but we'll find out soon. That I think it just like shoots out 2 fireballs at once, dealing the random damage. I think this card's good. Because you can play this out on turn 3, you could even coin Mirror Image or coin something. And you'll be shooting out damage like crazy. Unstable coin, unstable portal on turn 4, like, and you'll shoot out 4 damage and get a guy and possibly even play him. Flamewaker, I think we'll see play in both for sure. Maybe less in arena if you don't have that many spells, but mage tend to get spells in arena, so yeah, good, just good card. Lava Shock, 2 mana, deal 2 damage, unlock your overloaded mana crystals. Crappy card if you don't play overload cards. Can be really good if you do play overload cards. Definitely, they're trying to push the return of Earth Elemental. I think they're trying to push the return of Earth Elemental because BGH, Big Game Hunter, is so prevalent. Is it prevalent or prevalent? Whatever. It prevails. It's almost in every deck. People are like saving up their dust to craft it over even legendaries and stuff. Some craft too. But yeah, so more targets for BGH allows you to play other cards, I guess. So like the new cards that are coming out. I like it. I think it'll see play. Once again, it'll have specific like overload focused decks, but maybe not too heavy on the overload, because even if you have 2 of these in the deck, that's only like a 1 in 15 chance to draw it, so like you can't be overloaded every single turn. So I think it'll be played in moderation, and it'll definitely be picked up in overload decks in arena. I mean, that's pretty much it. We're going to hit our Priest rare card. Welcome Randuin Rin 3.0. 1 for Randuin Rin 1 for the expert set. Randuin Rin 2 with Nax. Randuin 3 with GVG. So I guess Randuin Rin 4. Summon a random friendly minion that died this game. You can almost control this because it's friendly minions. So you'll know your 1 drops, your 2 drops, your 3 drops, your 4 drops. Late game, I mean, you're just reaching into the graveyard bag, right? You can pull out legendaries. I think this card's really fun. Constructed, I don't think it'll see much play. I mean, if you pull out Sludge Belcher, awesome. You pull out Dark Cultist, awesome. I mean, this will work really well with Death Rattle decks. Sylvanas, bring it back. Now I wonder, actually, now I think of it, you steal a card and it dies on your side. Is it a friendly minion that died this game? This card will definitely need some testing, but I like it. Alright, moving on to Revenge. Now, I have listened to what other people have said about Revenge. Why do we have a more expensive Whirlwind? Because if you're at 12 or less health, your opponent's aiming to basically knock you down before you hit 12, try to take you out in 1 hit, so like deals much damage in 1 turn, like burst you down before cards like this. That's why you don't see Mortal Strike get its 6 damage off often, not saying never, often, because this will do 3 damage to all minions, so it'll be a Hellfire that doesn't hit. Hellfire that doesn't hit the faces. I am of the opinion that this isn't that good. Prove me wrong, people. I'd love to be proven wrong. But I don't think this will see much play in either arena or constructed. And that's just my thought on that. And the last card, is it the only common rare? Am I wrong on that? No, sorry, it's not the only one. But it is the one I do like. Dragon Egg. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/1 whelp. Personally think this will work well in Priest. Although, why would Priest base their early game off Dragon Egg? I don't know. Because you could Power Word Shield it. Velen's Chosen would probably be the best choice. Yeah, Velen's Chosen, then you keep healing it. It's a 2/6 with spell damage +1. I think that's the best way to play it. Otherwise, Dragon Egg will at least get you a 2/1 whelp, so 1 mana, 2/3. I mean, that's what the other card is that they have, right? So you play, you could even like say Dragon Egg, Twilight Whelp, or whatever it's called, and then you'll have those 2 guys out. You'll have a 2/3 and a 0/2, and then wait around so you can Villain's Chosen this. I think it'll see some play. Definitely in Arena. In Constructed, I don't know. It'll fit somewhere for sure. People will be looking for a 1-drop. Because it is like a 1-drop for, in comparison to Nerubian Egg. But except Nerubian Egg's 2 mana gets you a 4/4, so it's going to be up to people to see what's better. Maybe you can play them in conjunction, Dragon Egg, and on turn 1, Nerubian Egg, turn 2, and then coin Defender of Argus, so you have a 1/3, or 2 1/3s. Who knows? Anyway, so that is the rares. So we have the epics. Will I be able? I might just contain them both into one video, the epics and the legendaries. As for now, though, that is it for the Blackrock rares. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell me which cards are your favorite, and feel free to donate. Alright, cool.